Hi everyone, welcome to Provisual Tutorials. In this video, I'll show you how you can place and showcase your design using Provisual and 3D mockups. I'll also explain why this is an important and very often an overlooked part of selling your design to a client. The process I'm going to show will help you save a lot of time. And as you know, time is the most critical asset, not only for you, but also for business owners. So, say goodbye to the never-ending revisions and instead spend your free time exploring the 3D mockups and uplifting your presentations. In this video, I'm going to use a pre-made branding for a logistics company, which includes the company's logo, color palette, and various shapes. Time to open a 3D mockup in Provisual to showcase your design in action and give your client a real idea of how their branding will look on the apparel, packaging, transport, devices, and on many other interesting objects. Let's see how you can implement your creative ideas with 3D mockups. Let's navigate to the 3D Models section and select an object for our tutorial. The library contains a vast variety of high-quality 3D mockups, and it gets updated weekly. In this tutorial, we will learn how to customize this great 3D mockup of a box truck. Let's create a new project. On the left side of the window that has just opened, you can see the panel with scenes. Here you can create new variations of the 3D mockup, each with different design, materials, and environment settings. You will be able to add the new ones and delete the ones you don't need. Below, in the scene elements, we see the structure of the 3D model, where all separate elements are grouped into the folders. On the right side of the screen, you can see the design layers, where you can add your design and work with each design layer separately. Below, you can find the panel with the setup of the material you select. At the bottom of the viewing window, there is a toolbar which you can use to perform quick actions with the 3D model, some of which we will cover in this tutorial. To see more useful features and possibilities of Provisual, you can go to the Tutorials panel by clicking on the corresponding icon at the lowermost toolbar. The scenes with vehicles have a Skybox mode enabled by default. Skybox helps you display your 3D model in a specific and very lively environment. While we work on the 3D model settings, let's turn off the Skybox mode for more accuracy. Let's change the lighting of the 3D model. You can also change the lighting by selecting a different HDRI map from Provisual's extensive gallery. I think this one is exactly what we're after. Now let's set up a drop shadow. I'd like to make it darker. Great! Let's start editing. I really like the details of the model. Looks impressive. Starting off with the part called the box. This material already looks great. Let's change the color of the material. You can either select or customize the color using the color palette, or enter the color code manually, like this. Next, in the settings of the material, we will make the material more matte. Then we will add more metalness to this material. Next up, we switch to the cabin and change the material here. In the materials gallery, I'm going to select the appropriate material. Now I'll edit the color. In the material settings, we will reduce the size of the texture to make the material appear more sleek. Next, let's deal with the bumper. You can either pick this box truck part from the parts folder or just make a double click on the model. So easy. Let's paint the bumper into a darker color. Turning the model around to edit the rims. Let's choose the material in the materials gallery. I'll look in the metal section. Next, we will change the color of the material. The next step is to configure the box frame. I'll make the color darker in the settings. The box truck looks nice and lively. Let's place our design onto it. Double-click on this element. To add the design, click on the Add Design button on the Design Layers panel. You can also download a UV map and create your design in another editor. I've prepared a few design elements. Let's add the first one. In this window, we see the editor, where we can move and modify our design. Here on the left, the position of our design on the 3D model is always displayed in real time. It's amazing how easy it is in Provisual. Now let's add the design to the rear side of the box truck. To do this, click on the Add Image button. Now let's drag the design in the right place, following the UV map. Now let's add design elements to the front of the box. Great! Saving the design. Now let's add the design to the cabin. Select it, and click on the Add Design button at the Design Layers panel. Placing our design following the UV map. Next, we duplicate the design element and place it onto the left side of the cabin. Let's zoom in the UV map for more accurate application of the design. Great! Let's save the design again. Good! Let's find an interesting background for our box truck. Let's see what types of pre-made backgrounds we have available. We can choose a solid fill as the background, or we can go for a gradient fill. Here, we can select the desired colors, and also set the direction of the fill, linear or radial. You can also pick one of the pre-designed backgrounds that we've prepared for you. In Provisual, you can turn on moving lights to see how the light can enhance the shape and texture of the 3D model. You can also rotate the 3D model to see how the design looks in motion. Now let's go back to the environment settings and enable the Skybox mode again. Let's take a look at the HDRI maps options. Just look how detailed the reflections are. This is incredible. Let's check other options. You don't need to spend a lot of time picking the right environment at all. They all are so beautiful. Save your clients money by using Provisual. You achieve this as you visually demonstrate how your design and client's product will look in real life before even printing it, posting it on social media, or other online platforms. Thanks to Provisual, you provide your client with a visual representation of your design and confidence in the decisions made. One more reason I like working with Provisual is that I can quickly suggest the diversity of the design options or additional materials for a brand and then sell them to the client. Perfect. Let's save the project. After you've completed your design, you can share it by clicking the Share button. You'll get a shareable link to open the interactive viewer with your 3D model. Send it over to your colleagues, friends, or clients. And this is the end of our tutorial on editing the Isuzu box truck design. We hope this has been helpful for you. See you in the upcoming tutorials.